So, when I was a kid, played a computer game called The Secret of Monkey Island. It was I don't know what you call these kind of games, puzzle game, strategy game. You walked around and you directed the guy. You told him to ask questions or pick up this and mix it with this and do this with this, and it was a funny game. It was based upon pirates. And I thought I'd look it up on YouTube. Lo and behold, Monkey Island movie 2025, and the first thing you see is some chick. Yeah, you might say, well, she's being sexually exploited to sell the product. Okay, maybe. But that's not Monkey Island. Monkey Island is a pirate tale about a young guy basically coming of age, finding his manhood. And I can guarantee that whoever is making this film is going to try to stuff as many women into it as possible. There'll be these angry, aggressive girls who are trying to be pirates. And it's complete garbage. A while ago, I looked on Wikipedia for pirate, and there was a chick. Oh, but women were pirates too! No. I'm sure there was an isolated incident once where a woman got involved in that sort of thing. But it's the tiniest little tiny element of this thing. Oh, but women need to be represented. No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't. And doing so is badly influencing our society. Men and women are not the same. They're not equal in any way. They are different, utterly different. There might be some crossover here and there, but the differences are absolutely massive. Trying to pretend they don't exist is a joke and a lie, and it's damaging. It's damaging to youngsters who are growing up wondering what the heck they're expected to do, and then they go, oh, and then they follow the media, and the media is full of nonsense and lies, so they end up getting confused and lost, which is the intention. I now simply avoid all media. I thought I'd consider this one time looking. Every time you look, it's garbage. Absolutely chock full of garbage. People involved in that scheme are trying to paint over reality with a lie, hoping that eventually people will just believe it, and they won't. It's a lie, and you're setting people up for a rude awakening when reality hits them in their lives. I'm not going to say I'm an expert on the history of piracy, right? But robbing and killing is a man's game. That's what it is. Oh, but there was a... No. I don't care if there have been isolated incidents of whatever. I don't care. It's a man's game. Always has been, always will be. This feminist nonsensical garbage has to die. It has, and it's going to have to be killed. It's going to have to be snuffed out, stamped upon, and obliterated from existence, because it's just it's a lie. It's a massive lie, and it's harming young men. And I bet you that there will be some poisonous aspect of that film when it's made which will try to undermine a man's position and stick a woman in charge of him, or make her the hero over him, or some utter nonsense. Oh, but women want that. No. What's happened is that this lie was instituted, and the media upheld it because the people producing such media were in on it, and now people have just gotten used to it. But they all know deep down it's a lie. That's what annoys me, is the lying involved. Trying to create a false and artificial world. That's what annoys me and angers me. So I went to look up something pretty innocuous and bam, yet another example of nonsense. Oh well, all I did see was a picture of a chick. Fine, maybe. But it reminded me. It reminded me what was coming. Now, when I used to play this computer game as a kid, there was a female character, yeah. She was a black lady, and I think she was like a witch or a voodoo person or something in the Caribbean. Alright, so be it. There may even have been a woman in that game who was kind of piratey. Okay, so be it. But back then, and this is the very early 90s, I believe. Back then, it wasn't being pressed as an agenda. It was just an interesting thing. Oh, okay, fine. No big deal. Now it's being pressed as an agenda, and I'm just so tired of it. In my life, I am going to find and exercise the truth. Wherever I go, whatever I do. Okay, I'm not ever going to sit down and allow this garbage to continue. I'm committed in my life to doing what I can to completely and utterly obliterate that nonsense, because it's poisonous to society. It's all based on lies, and it weakens everybody. It ruins women and it ruins men. It ruins families, hence it ruins society. It's just a big, gigantic lie. And there is a way of fixing it. And I have my own intentions of what to do to fix it. It can be done. I'm sure I'm not the only person who's got the desire to repair this problem. But I have a definite strategy of fixing it. And I'm sure that those who have instituted this thing would think, oh, well, that's just some insignificant person. Oh, okay, think what you like. But I'm committed to it. I want it to come to pass, and I will make it happen. And you guys will be sitting there thinking, oh, what happened? Our lie was going so well. And I'll be sitting there going, well, not anymore, chaps. The reason I make the videos I make, which very few people watch, very few people, is because I need to let out this. Because I see it every day. I've grown up in this weird... I grew up in a decent world, and it's just become a lie. A big, gigantic lie. And it's clear as day. Now, the reason I'm annoyed about it, and the reason I feel like doing something about it, is because I have at heart a good, strong notion of what's right and what's wrong. And that doesn't mean softness. It doesn't mean, oh, we mustn't hurt anybody. No. It means an understanding that to stand up against things which are wrong, you have to be strong and good at heart. And try to stay on the right path, but also be strong. That means strength of mind, strength of character, honor, physical strength, social strength, political strength, whatever. There are all many aspects of strength. And these guys are trying to weaken people. They're trying to weaken them morally, spiritually. They're trying to make men weak and trying to make women aggressive. And these weak men are going, oh, what do we do? And that's not manhood. Manhood is definition, and it's understanding what's needed in an instance. And that makes women relax. But you're driving these women into a condition of frenzy where they're thinking, men, enemy, and they don't know what to do. And you're like, no, don't worry. This is what to do. And then you implant garbage into their minds, which is a big, fat, gigantic lie, which we'll loosely call liberalism. Yes, women, don't worry. the world can be a wonderful place where everything's perfect so long as you surrender your power, so long as you surrender your independence. And the weak men are going, maybe, because they don't know what to do because they haven't been made into men. And the real men are thinking, what is this nonsense? And it's getting in our way. Now, what you must understand is that real men have nothing but the highest regard for real women, and they want to do what's necessary for them. It's our job. And our job, as our natural purpose, our job, is being attacked by these guys who are perpetuating this feminist garbage. And women are not perpetuating feminism. Women are victimized by feminism. And that's the truth. As are these men who are weak and wobbly and have no clue what they're doing because no expectation is placed on their shoulders. Fortunately for me, and I'm not going to go out there and say, I'm the most perfect, but I'm just saying, fortunately for me in my life, I came across situations which I had to face by myself and which helped make a man of me. And there are more situations I must face through my life as a man to continue that journey. And a lot of guys don't get to go through that sort of thing. And I think they ought to. In fact, I know they must. And that's the kind of thing I want to bring into being. I genuinely want to create a society where that's the truth. And I want other guys who realize what's going on to be like, oh my goodness, what a good idea, and jump on board. And that is going to catch these people who are doing this completely off guard. And they're because they aren't creators. They're only exploiters. And they will be caught off guard and they won't know what has hit them when a society begins, which all of a sudden they won't have any notion of what to do about. And it will be led by men, and indeed for the benefit of women. And real women will be like, thank heavens, it's happened. And all the lost women who have been wound up into a frenzy will be like, and they won't know what to do either. So all this obnoxious, poisonous nonsense that has occurred as I've grown up will be fixed. I'm not talking about absolute perfection, but I'm talking about a massive improvement. And then men will feel good and whole in themselves. And women will feel good and whole in themselves. Because they will be fulfilling what's normal and natural for them. Sure, there are some people who want to do specific things which are a bit kooky and weird. Okay, you know. But they aren't the majority. The majority just want to do what's fairly ordinary and expected of them. And men have to have a burden put upon them. You have to put them through something that they overcome, and then they're men, and then their manhood is created. But that can't happen in the society that we've currently got. That expectation is not put upon women. However, women have to go through something extremely difficult themselves, which is womanhood, motherhood even. I don't want to see this nonsense continue. I grew up watching things around me and thought nothing of it, and then come my early to mid-20s, I suddenly realised the game that was afoot. And I'm not going to let go of this, and I'm going to fix it. I'm not going to be alone, other people are going to be involved too, and that's that. But I'm making these videos to let other people know, if they ever are seen. And I'm pretty sure that certain folk who I would like to see this, although they're not on the right side, are seeing this. And I would like other people to realise that you don't sit back and wait. You put energy into the right direction and you fix things. When things are bad, you look at it, you figure out what to do to fix it, and you fix it. And everyone benefits. So that's what you should take from this video.